What's up, everyone? Today we're back with another review video of the Pokemon YouTube Japanese channel, and we're looking at the United Wings deck once again. It's a favorite. You guys have seen it in the past. It was a single prize abomination that used to try to take down a lot of big two-prize KOs on a lot of stuff. Lost Box is probably one of its worst matchups, but we get a new friend to the United Wings group, this Rowlet that has the United Wings attack, giving us 4 more attackers, or 4 more people that do 20 more damage. So today we're just going to look at the deck list, kind of see how United Wings has changed. Can it actually keep up with the current metagame? What can it actually do? And let's see if United Wings is actually real. I know a lot of people were big fans of the deck when it first came out. It kind of petered away slowly and just disappeared into the sunset. But it's good to see United Wings come back and maybe have a good comeback here. We see the Murkrow in the left and the Pidgey on the right, so it looks like Zard versus United Wings. Let's see if this matchup is favorable for United Wings. Zard going first, having a pretty insane start for going first, honestly, all things considered, but has a has a Pidgey stuck in the active, which means that there's a good chance that this Murkrow can knock it out on the first turn if he can get all the pieces up and running. We see the Flamigo here. We're going to go ahead and bench the Flamigo, use the ability to search for another Flamigo and another Flamigo, and I think if the third one isn't prized, yep, there it is, all 3. 3 to hand. We're going to use the A-Spec Secret Box. I was going to wonder which A-Spec we're going to be playing here. And Secret Box definitely seems like the A-Spec of choice in this because you get the Stadium, the tool, all the stuff you need. And you get to discard 3 cards. So it definitely feels better in a deck that can discard and actually set up off the back of this. Like, look, now you have the Poffin to set up, get more stuff onto the board. You have the Vitality Band to get more damage if you need it. There's double Rowlet. Sorry, the middle guy is Dartrix. That's what I meant to say. But we have another Ultra Ball hitting the board, Wattrel going to the discard, getting a Purloin. So we're going to be using the Lipard engine that lets us discard a card and draw one every single turn. Setting up the attach onto the attacker, we're going to use Pokestop. Just go ahead and thin before we go ahead and research, just in case we draw into some pieces. I don't know, I think Pokestop after probably makes the most sense, just to have more cards. We're going to go ahead and Squawkabilly, getting rid of, wait, I need to see that again. What do we Squawkabilly away? 2 Murkrow, 2 DTE, a Stop, and a Ditto. I think those DTs could come back to haunt us if we lose those. I guess his hand was just terrible otherwise. So I think we need to Squawk every single time. But maybe there's a world where we don't have to Squawk here. I don't know. I think it's like you kind of have to Squawk. Ditto is actually a very good card as well. Squawk for 6. We're going to use United Wings for, I think there's 7 in there. Yes, 140. Knocking out this poor Pidgey. 140 damage turn 1 going second is actually an insane amount of damage. Charizard does pretty much probably have access to Candy Zard. It almost always does with an Arven. From this situation, there's the Candy, there's the Zard. The Seal Stone is still available to be used. This is where the Dartrix has to come in clutch. There's the V-Star. We're going to go ahead and use it ahead of time. Not saving for Pidgeot for some reason. We're going to go ahead and Counter Catcher, probably up the Rowlet, if anything. Yeah, it seems reasonable. Vacuum the Pokestop, 210, knocking out the Rowlet. Not a United Wings guy going to the discard. So this Murkrow stays in play. We're going to go see the Ultra Ball, getting rid of Poffin and some other card. I don't know what it was. Getting the Lipard, putting that into play. We're going to be able to use the trade ability, draw 2 cards. Iono is in hand. Nightly Stretcher allows us to get a Pokemon back to the hand. Pokemon on energy, sorry. So we're going to go ahead and put the Rowlet back onto the board. Ultra Ball once again. Another United Wings guy going to the discard here. That puts us at 8, I believe, which is 320. So we need 1 more United Wings attacker. There's like 5 cards left in the deck. I don't understand how we got here so fast. Okay, my biggest concern, though, is like if this wasn't weak to grass, we actually would not have nearly enough damage to do anything. Like 160 damage with like 5 cards left in deck feels really mediocre. I guess we did have the boss in hand earlier, so we could have just pumped up Murkrow and bossed up the Pidgey on this turn and just taken that 1 prize and then got into the Dartrixes later. But like at the same time, it's like, what are we actually doing if it's a deck that isn't a weak to grass? Like, what if it's a deck that's bigger and bulkier and we can't actually do something about it? There's 9 now, actually. I actually missed one, apparently, and we have the 360 for the weakness, knocking out the Charizard. Again, 180 doesn't do anything to a lot of decks, but in this particular situation, it does quite a bit. So, yeah, there's the Iono, the Attach Iono, or it's the Charmeleon. The Charmeleon does knock out the Dartrix, which is pretty funny. Another Charmander hitting the board just for setup's sake. Nest Ball. Radzard, yep, the one prize off prize attacker Candy Zard also coming through. We're just down to a 0 card hand, no setup after this. I don't know about that, but we'll do what we can. I feel like we didn't need to seal stone last turn. I feel like just taking out the active would have been fine. There's a lot of things that are a little bit weird here. Murkrow coming into the active. Murkrow could very easily trade for 1 here. We're going to get Dark Energy, like only a few cards left in deck. We're going to go ahead and trade the Wattrel away. Super Riding back the Dartrix line attaching to Flamigo. And we're just going to knock out with 11, so 220. Now we're ramping up our damage a little bit. This damage is good enough to knock out a lot of things in the format, but this did take us 3 turns. So maybe if we'd drawn Pokemon in a different order, it helps out. But with these 2 cards, what can we actually do? A Boss's Orders, almost certainly bringing up the Rowlet, taking a singular prize card here for 500. But now we have to move this Radzard the next turn, or this Flamigo is just going to knock it out anyway, which is not even a big deal. Attached to Liepard, we're going to go ahead and research, draw our whole deck. Oh no, there's like 2 cards left. Looking for the Radiant Greninja, also a good Radiant. I don't know if that's the best Radiant to play, but it's good. We're going to go ahead and Palpad back the boss. So now our deck is 3 cards, and one of them is a boss. Rowlet hitting the board. And 220 with the DTE is the knockout here. And now an Iono is like pretty much like what you have to do, but you don't want Iono because you know that the energy is there. And there's just no Iono or Roxanne here, which pretty much indicates that the United Wings player can see their entire deck here. There's the Dartrix, there's the energy, and there is the knockout, or maybe Liepard also for the whole deck, with 11, 12 in there. 4, 3, 4, 3. That's 14. 560 damage. Does take the knockout here with weakness. But, like, okay, so you cap effectively at, like, 280. I guess you can put Dittos into play, but that board was just really messy. I don't know. I'm not sold on the deck. It seems interesting. But I think it's definitely can't stand up to all the big behemoths in the format, like Raging Bolt and stuff of that nature, that can just trade better, I think, than you with Switch cards. And Lost Box still obviously seems like an abysmal matchup. Gardevoir also doesn't seem amazing. But let's take a look at this list. We can see there's a 2-4 Dartrix line, which I think you probably want a 3-4 just because you need to get 2 down in the same turn against something like Zard. A 1-1 Liepard is interesting. You probably want more than that because, I don't know, you actually need to play the game. Or you just full commit to like all supporters. 2 Poffin seems fine. 1 Great Ball seems fine. Maybe you want more Great Balls just to search. Same with more Vessels, just to have more discard effects that aren't Ultra Ball. Drachi, Manaphy good. Helps the Sableye blowing up your board matchup. 1 Rod, 1 Stretcher seems fine actually, because I think you can use those attackers enough times. I don't know, the Liepard just seems interesting. I don't know if I like it. I probably would cut the Liepard and make space for other stuff, but otherwise I think the deck is fine. It's interesting. I don't know. I probably wouldn't play it myself, but I hope you guys like it and try it out yourselves. And that is United Wings. Don't know if it's back. You guys tell me in the comments below if it's back, but that's all from me. Peace out.